Patriots, this just in, there has been an awakening. IShowSpeed has been in Egypt. He's the first live streamer to ever go into the pyramids. It's intense. And the expressions from the Black American community here on TikTok and online is overwhelming, because he's going into these museums and he asks a question. He said, why are all the noses missing? Why are the noses missing from all of the Egyptian statues, or a lot of them? And he asked the woman that, and she says, oh, it's because that's that's where it was the weakest part. Then no. The truth is because Black Americans come from kings and queens and royalty. And they were brought here through slavery, had their names and history stolen from them. And people are literally like crying online hearing this. And this is kind of something I've kind of known, for a little bit, but it's interesting how when something hits you, it almost reminds me of Juneteenth, how people were free from slavery, but they didn't know. And it was like, once they got the word, was Juneteenth. And it almost feels like this is a liberation for Black Americans to realize that some people are saying the American dream they've been sold is BS. That your lineage, your roots are greatness of kings and queens and royalty, and Lord knows in Egypt, the technology that we have no idea about. That's Black culture. That's Black American culture. That's African culture. A lot of people are saying, I had no clue. They thought Africa was just poor and, kids sitting around with flies on their, belly and stuff. No, it's beautiful. It's prosperous. It's like Wakanda. But they've just been hiding it from you. So I think there's a beautiful day of awakening. Hey, it's like Juneteenth all over. Wishing everybody well. IShowSpeed, beautiful work. Beautiful work. It's about awakening people and letting them know their true potential. Secret Service Sam Out Samson for president of TikTok.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, Africans. I hope you're faring well where you are. And if you're not faring well, please fare well where you are. See, IShowSpeed right now is in Morocco, right? He is in Morocco, and Senegal just won against Morocco. There's a lot to learn from that. Senegal just won against Morocco. There is so much to learn from that, good people. So these, besides from the CAF tournament, IShowSpeed's trip in Africa has been an eye-opener to so many things that are happening around, right? There's been stereotypes. There's been, people always think Africa is a single country like Kenya. People think Africa is a country like Kenya. No. Africa is a huge landmass that was divided during the Berlin Conference into 53 countries, later 54, by our own selves. So, today's video, I want us to discuss why IShowSpeed, his trip is very relevant to Black people and to Africans in general, right? So I want us to dive into this video, listen to a sister give a specific reaction towards IShowSpeed's. I shall also get back by the end of the video, adding more commentary to the sister's message. I shall get back by the end of the video.
The thing about IShowSpeed's visit or tour of Africa is that he took the African Renaissance energy to the world. He revealed the true Africa, the evolving Africa, the resurrected Africa to people around the world, family. Welcome to Dr. Mumbi News. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. I did a show about IShowSpeed's impact on Kenya and what it meant for where the Kenyan consciousness was. And a lot of you guys asked me to expand to Africa. What about Ethiopia? What about here? What about there? And the big thing about IShowSpeed's visit to the motherland at the end of the snake year. And by the way, thanks to you guys who pointed out that he was actually in Kenya on 11/1/1. the 11th of January. Like, what? It was not about what the Mzungus or what the Babylonians wanted it to be about, where they're coming to conquer Sijui, they're taking energy. It had nothing to do with that because we're in a new dispensation, which means that the energy, the spiritual energy, the emotional energy, the mental energy is moving different. It's moving different. We honor the ancestors in the wind. It's crazy how much the wind is blowing here. Whoa. But, you know, the Mzungus never wanted the world to know the real Africa so that they could keep raping our resources, you know, exploiting our people, exploiting our land, and being the ones who come here on safari and all this stuff. They wanted Africa to themselves. And when the Mzungu sees a good thing, they don't go out there and they just whisper maybe to one or two friends, but they never go and tell the world. And that's why the narrative of the dark continent, poverty, famine, hunger, not only was it perpetual curses from the colonizer to keep Africa bound in its mental colonization, but it was also about making the world also send that bad vibes to Africa. Oh, they're so poor, or they can't eat, or they whatever. And yet we were literally the breadbasket of the world. We were literally the lungs of the world. We are literally behind. Our natural resources are behind emerging technology like mobile phones. Like if Congo was not there, the mobile phone would not exist because of a mineral that is only found in the Congo. Stories for the days. So the Muzungu has always promoted this image of the dark continent, not only to make us feel insecure about ourselves and make us place ourselves there, but to make others really not want to come and see that Africa is actually Eden. Africa is actually Kemet. They never wanted that. So what IShowSpeed did, family, is he, at the end of the snake here, when Africa has totally shed that colonial skin, that neo-colonial skin, when Africa has shed those narratives, it showed the world who we really are in all our glory, in all our beauty. And people in the, you know, especially African Americans and Americans were like, oh my God, you mean you guys aren't living in huts? You mean you guys have like New York's out there, London's out there? Way above that. But it almost reminded me of when the divided states attacked TikTok and then the world saw China and saw China was like 200 years ahead of America. Remember that? That's how this trip was. And the energy of having, because when he was in Kenya, he had like 9.6 million people live. Can you imagine that energy being directed to Kenya and Kenyans? That's why I said for us, we are so frustrated at the slow pace of our revolution. So for us, him coming here and bringing that speed, he brought an acceleration energy. And he was the channel of like the 9.6 million people from around the world that were watching him and channeling our energy. And then from Kenya, he went to Ethiopia. I mean, beautiful. And Ethiopia, it actually climbed. But not only are all Africans watching him while he's in Africa, but the whole world is watching. And we are in a renaissance. Like Ethiopia has blown people away. I'll add a few videos of different African cities at the end of this video. But Ethiopia has blown, like even other Africans, we're like, damn. Yeah, that's what it looks like when, you know, the presidents aren't puppets, when they're not killing, stealing, and destroying, when there is no corruption, when they're just doing their thing. That's what an uncolonized mind can do, even with all the barriers that the Babylonians are placing. So the African Renaissance is well on its way. We have shed the skin of colonialism. We have shed the skin of slavery. And we are back to our original selves, bigger, better, more improved. And now the world knows. And we're so grateful because everything has worked out to our benefit. That the world was so scared of coming to the motherland for so long because we weren't ready. We weren't ready, but now we are. Because the ancient ones, the ancestors, the true owners of the motherland are back. If you know, you know.
I really thank IShowSpeed for showing us these countries, because now I'm 100% sure of the countries I will never go to. I will never visit as a tourist. Just watching how he's been treated, bottles thrown on him, water thrown on him in Algeria, just solidifies for me where it's safe to go and not to go. And I know in the comments people were telling him not to go to there or to some northern countries in Africa, and unfortunately he still had it on his schedule to go, so he went. He did it for his fans, which I respect, but the kind of things that he went through, almost getting his eardrum blown out because they continue to shoot the gun close to his head, or it was like a gunpowder or something close to his head, when he told them that it was he had a problem with it, and then them doing it so close to his ear to the point where he felt like his eardrum was blown out. And then to go to the stadium, like I said, he had bottles and water and trash thrown at him and his whole team. It's just crazy. When he visits these countries, he's really showcasing the beauty of these countries. That kind of thing really can draw a lot of tourists, a lot of opportunities, a lot of revenue into the country. When they showcase things like that, that could potentially deter people from wanting to visit or wanting to do things that will bring some positive things or revenue into the country. On my other video, I showed some of the things he dealt with in Europe. I've even seen some other videos of making monkey noises, things like that. It's just like I said, it really shows, as a Black person, you can't just go to any country. There's some countries it's just not safe for us to go. And the thing that really impresses me about Speed is that even after all that, you never hear him talking bad about those countries. I just have a lot of respect for that he still carries himself the way he does even after experiencing those things in those countries. I have never heard him badmouth the countries after. I'm thankful that he's showing these things, because now, I'm taking notes. I hope other people are too, especially Black people, where it's not safe to go to, being Black. I've definitely made my list. I hope you all have too.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like, the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bruh, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro. Thank you.
An African lifestyle.
More than ever, our people are coming back to the motherland. More diasporans are returning, connecting, and investing in Africa than ever before. And while there are countless success stories, there are also unfortunate situations that could have been avoided. Due Diligence Africa is your essential guide to navigating the motherland with confidence. Whether you're traveling, investing, or relocating, this book gives you clear, practical tools to verify people, places, and opportunities so you can make informed decisions at every step. It provides actionable frameworks for assessing credibility, spotting red flags, and avoiding costly mistakes. If you want to pursue the African dream safely, responsibly, and successfully, Due Diligence Africa equips you with the knowledge and confidence to do it right. Get your copy today at panafricanlifestyle.com.
Let's talk about Speed's tour in Africa, and let's note and know that Africa is a continent, not a country, okay? So as a Black American who's into African culture, music, and dances, love African people, I love learning about it. You can just go to my page. You can see that all I do on my page is dance to African music and support African music and dances. I love learning, and I am still learning. With that being said, all I gotta say is it's about damn time. And what I mean by that, it's about damn time that my Black American people open up their eyes and realize that the preconceived notions that you guys had about Africa are not true. The ignorant thoughts that you guys had about Africa. And we know what you guys thought about Africa. I don't even have to say it, okay? And to be honest, it shouldn't have took Speed going to Africa to make you guys realize and open up your eyes and learn something. Especially if you're a grown adult. And if you're a grown adult who still was having those preconceived notions and thoughts about Africa, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be really embarrassed, really. However, I am very happy that I see so many Black American people having so many positive things to say and saying that I seen one guy crying and feeling bad about the way he thought. I've seen so many videos from my people and they're really learning. So I'm very happy that this stream is making my people learn something and helping my people learn about Africa and not have those preconceived notions anymore and negative and ignorant thoughts and comments about Africa. I'm very happy that this is really changing us in a way. I hope that the stereotypes against Africa and African people can finally come to rest and we can actually come together as Black people and as the whole Black diaspora come together, stop arguing, and actually heal. But yeah, that's all I had to say. And if you're still having negative stereotypes against Africa and African people in the big 2026, then you're just moo-moo. If you're not.
And I called it, I told y'all, and some of y'all just laughed at me, but I knew it. I swear to God, I knew it. A couple of months back, I made a video saying how if African people all around the world would unite, then it would basically bring the continent of Africa together. It's game over at that point. And all the racist people in the comment section, now that'll never fucking happen. You guys hate each other way too much. This, that, and the third. But Speed is now live streaming in Africa, and look at the effect that it's having on Black people all around the world, especially in America. Some people are crying because they're so emotional. Africa's so beautiful. It's advanced. It's not what they tell you it is. It's not sticks and huts. They see Africa and they can't help but wonder, that's basically Wakanda. What if we went back and started fixing it, doing more for the country? Could it use some help? Of course it could use some help. Look what Africa is up against. But the sentiment is there. African people from the diaspora, they want to connect. That's that spiritual calling. They want to connect. Before Speed, though, there was another creator. He goes by the name of Wodemaya. He goes around the entire continent of Africa to many different countries, the countries that would allow, I guess. And he basically just shows the beauty of it. He talks to entrepreneurs. He talks to politicians. He talks to people who are, on the ground, making a real difference. He's showing Africa in the real lens. If you want more out of what IShowSpeed is showing in this live stream, check out Wodemaya I think he's on TikTok, but he's also on YouTube, long form videos. It's time to start connecting with the motherland again. That's it. It's game over.
So, after clearly watching this video, here is my deep critical analysis. You see, the IShowSpeed 2026 Speed Does Africa. You see, this tour is considered significant to Africans because it provides a massive, unfiltered global stage that challenges long-standing stereotypes. For many of the continent and in the diaspora, the 28-day journey across 20 nations represents a shift from traditional media narratives towards authentic and youth-led presentation of the African continent. We no longer want to feed we no longer want to feed from the information provided to us by the Western media, of which they present Africa in such a negative way for a specific purpose, So I want us to discuss the tour's importance and why it is driven by a specific number of factors. So the sister's been right that IShowSpeed's trip has rewired people's thinking. Some people now can decide to go to other countries. Other people may decide not to go to other countries as well, right? And here's why the trip in general is of much importance to the African people. The first thing is challenging global stereotypes, as the sister said earlier. You see, the live streams that Speed was giving, live streams, you don't have time to edit. They are authentic and real. It's something that you get from the actual ground, So these live streams have been highlighting modern infrastructure. You see, we've been having a 5G connectivity and vibrant urban life, such as the skyscrapers in Nairobi and Addis Ababa, directly contradicting Western media portrayals of Africa as solely a place of poverty or conflict. That's a very good thing that our brother IShowSpeed Darrell did, Mr. Darrell, brother Darrell. So we also have the economic and tourism visibility. Now, high-ranking officials such as Kenya Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano, has noted that his record-breaking streams, e.g., we had over 8.4 million views in Kenya alone. Later, it came back into 9.3 million views in Kenya alone. This showcases the continent as a safe, top-tier destination for younger, digitally connected travelers. Nairobi, or rather Kenya and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, are the places that gave Speed the highest amount of views per day, right? So we also have the cultural pride and identity. See, the IShowSpeed tour has activated an internal compass, for young Africans and the diaspora, fostering a sense of belonging and collective identity through his participation in global customs, such as traditional dances in Ethiopia and a warrior initiation ceremony in Eswatini. In Eswatini, he was given a girl, take this girl, marry her. But because Mr. Darrell is a man of respect and a man of moral values, he declined, How many of you would have declined an Eswatini princess? Tell me in the comment section if you would have declined an Eswatini princess. Another importance is we have direct representation. Unlike scripted documentaries, Speed's raw, chaotic, and spontaneous interactions with everyday people, from barbers in Zambian townships to market vendors in Ethiopia. You see, These humanize African cities for a global audience of millions, right? Another importance is we've had the validation of the digital hub. The success of IShowSpeed streams, which included crossing the 48 million subscriber mark in Nairobi, Kenya, my very own country. You see, this validates the continent's growing status as a global hub for digital creativity and a youth culture. You know, now while the tour has faced some criticism, you know, momentary distraction from systemic issues, local organizer and many fans maintain that rewriting the narrative through positive global attention is a necessary step towards changing long-term perception. You know, new reports also are detailing that IShowSpeed is having significant, you see, tours in other parts of Africa. You know, right now he is in Morocco. He is about to show us the authentic Morocco live stream. It's not edited, live stream. There's no cut and no, we don't have all that. It's authentic as it is. Yes. And also his trip in Algeria, some people have given some idea about it. Some people have not really liked it. All in all, Black people have known where they should visit when they visit Africa and where they shouldn't visit when they visit Africa. But all in all, if it is possible, visit all the 54 African countries. Yes. I hope that you've gained value from this. If you have, subscribe. I'll really appreciate. See you in the next one and stay positive.